The one thing that I always tell clients is do not talk to your spouse about the legal aspects of your divorce. Leave that up to the lawyers. They can have those conversations without the emotion. They know the law. And oftentimes what we find was when people communicate about their divorce and they start talking about the split of assets or what's going to be fair and what's not going to be fair, is that they just don't know the law. And so a lot of times they will agree on things. Unfortunately, what they agreed to is not necessarily what one party may be entitled to. Then one party goes and talks to their lawyer. They find out that that was a bad decision, and then they go backwards. Well, going backwards is a real problem in a divorce because the other spouse now has an expectation that that issue was resolved. And so if you want to avoid getting into some rather large arguments with your spouse, I would say keep the communications away from the divorce case. If you have children, talk about the children, talk about their schedules, talk about the division of labor with regard to parenting. And you could even talk about things from what I'll call a higher level. In other words, who's going to stay in the house? Maybe someone's going to move out. But in terms of the actual division of assets, in terms of spousal maintenance or amounts of child support, those are not the conversations that I would be having with my spouse in a divorce setting because they can only lead to trouble.